Shit, what's this podcast called?
Discourse of Human Events.
The discourse is just crazy.
Everything's okay, I'm just trying to act my age. Yeah, I wanna know where the hell the days go. Yeah, I wanna know where the hell the days go. I wanna look and feel years younger, baby.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, from Anaheim, California, we're gonna do some betting,
The
virtual
Discourse of
betting.
Human Events. And even though we are in the same goddamn room, we are still gonna dildo. Let's dildo.
Let's do it.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Dildos. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually make real bets, but we don't have this much money to actually make bets on. So we're gonna virtually bet $100 and then bet our real money. But we're gonna go through each fight and talk about why we're betting on it. And the good thing is, I know a little bit about UFC. Nick knows almost nothing about UFC.
So I will base all my bets on complete stereotypes, the images of the people that I see, and random bits of knowledge that Zach gets. I think for a handicap...
Also for stats, though.
Yeah, stats. I think for a handicap, you should always give yours first, and I'm either gonna...
That's fair.
I think that helps.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
pretty fair. I like that.
All right.
So let's start with the we're gonna start with the undercard, but we're only gonna
Whoa,
do.
before we get into that...
Wait, dildos. We're gonna go
What?
through how the virtual betting works. Is that what you want?
No. So we have a $100 pool,
Yes,
each
yes.
of us, and there's 5 fights, 5 on the main card.
5 on the main card. There's like 8 or 10 undercards, so I say we just do 2 or 3 of the undercard.
Okay. Well, so 5.
Yeah.
And then 2 or 3 undercard?
Yeah. What do you say? 1 or 2? Let's do 1. 2.
I don't care.
Let's do 2.
The point is we need to know ahead of time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have room for 3 on my sheet, so we're gonna
So
do
we're
3.
gonna do 3. So we're gonna have a $100 pool in which we'll place bets. And each bet has Vegas betting odds. So the way betting odds work is, the underdog, you'll get paid more if you bet on him and he actually wins, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, let's explain actually in numbers. So everybody's either a negative or a positive.
No, you don't
number.
need to explain that. And this is one other thing I want to explain to Zach, is that's a stupid system.
Why?
And that's also a way you can see that Vegas always wins, because Zach.
I see what you're saying.
But
So how do they always?
we're
win?
also very drunk, so if we're somewhat incoherent.
So how do they always win? I kind of understood what you're saying, but at least for the audience, how do they always win?
Okay, let's start with Vegas betting odds. All right, so if they're plus,
So let's do an example.
they're plus 200.
Our first undercard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got
Main card.
No, our first undercard one, because
Okay.
we'll go from the bottom
Sure,
up.
sure.
We don't want to start with the DC John Jones. We want to end with DC John Jones, right?
Sure.
All right, so we got Renato Moicano versus Brian Ortega. So we have minus 165 for, I don't know how to say his name, Renato. I'm just going to call him Renato. And then we have plus 135 for Ortega. Now I'll explain how that works with the minus 165 and the plus 135. I mean, it's kind of obvious for some people, but for people who don't know, how's that work?
The plus 165 is the easy one to explain. If you bet $100 and he wins, you bet on the guy with $100, you get back $165.
See, I always just converted them into percentages. That's why it always confused me, because I just look at the plus 135 as 1.35 is what you get back times 1.35.
Okay. Which is fine. That's
How do they
1.35 anything.
But how do they explain that then with the negative 165? If you bet $100, you get back. If it's a negative,
That's why what I'm saying is those are a shitty way of explaining odds.
Yes, that's what I
It's
said.
hard, and I'm trying to give you a good odds converter, but
An
our
odds
internet
converter.
in this thing is terribly so. Okay, so what was the positive? 165? Oh
Yeah.
no, give me the negative. What was the negative?
The negative is 165. The positive is 135.
165. Negative 165, and the positive was 135.
Yep.
Okay. Now let's let our slow as shit internet load. All right.
By the way, as an aside, guys, when you get an Airbnb, be careful and actually look up what neighborhood you're staying in. What you got? What you got? What you got?
I got a shitty internet. That's what I got.
I don't get why you're trying to convert, because minus
It
165
makes
just
more
means
sense.
times everything by 1.
Okay, let me explain one thing. The
0.165.
reason they're Vegas betting odds, there we go, that converted. The reason they're Vegas betting odds is because they can conceal that you're getting ripped off. All right? Because as a background, Zach thinks that, Vegas lost money on Ronda Rousey.
Because the betting odds was like 180, or not 180, 825 for Holly Holm and minus 1,000 something for Ronda Rousey.
And what I'm telling you is it doesn't matter.
Why not?
Okay, so suppose the easier way to consider how they're doing the betting is think about if somebody has an 80% chance to win, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's an easier way to consider it. So let's say you think Ronda Rousey has an 80% chance to win in that scenario, right? But let's just convert it percentage.
Okay.
The percentages must add up to 100, right? If Ronda Rousey has an 80% chance to win...
But how do you say somebody has an 80% chance to win in fighting?
The numbers imply that. The numbers that they give imply some percentage.
Okay, they're going by like history and their numbers. Okay.
Yes.
That's what you're going by.
So, Ronda Rousey, let's suppose the Vegas betting odds, you can work this out mathematically. If they give you this payout, for it to be a fair bet, it must imply that she has 80%. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at Holly Holmes. Was that the other girl?
Yeah, Holly Holm.
So she has a 20%. And you look at the Vegas betting odds and you can imply, like, if it was a fair payout ratio, that's the key assumption, then it must be a 20%. Right?
Uh-huh.
So then, if I put 80 cents down, so let's say I put 80 cents down.
Gotcha.
You and me are making a bet. You say Ronda Rousey. You put 80 cents in the pot. I put in 20 cents in the pot. The winner takes $1.
Gotcha.
That's a smart way of figuring out a bet, and you can see that there's no person in the middle taking the money. All right?
Mm-hmm. I get it.
So that way, you can fairly clearly see, like, he has an 80 cents in, he wins 20 cents if he was right. Because she has an 80% chance to win. She shouldn't win. He shouldn't win a shitload more.
That makes so much more sense when you put it in that way.
Okay.
That it always basically adds up to $1 for whatever you bet on.
Yes. And given rational assumptions, it should always add up to 100%. Now, here's what I just did. Okay? I went in to Odds Converter on the internet, and I put in that negative 165 and plus 135. That was the payout ratios. And that what they do is they convert it to the implied probability. They convert it into like that 80% or that 20%. All right?
So it doesn't add up to 100%.
Yes. It's 62.3% for the negative 165. Okay? 62.5% implied probability if it was a fair bet. If they gave the exact perfect payout ratio.
Yeah.
And for the 135, a 42.6% payout if they gave a fair payout ratio. Now, that happens to add up to 104.9, not 100. So what Vegas is doing is that 4.9% they're pocketing. It's just like if you play poker,
I get it.
You put in your money and they take one coin out. They take one of the chips out just for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Actually, I've never played poker at the casino, so I didn't know that.
Yeah, what they do is they take one chip, or they take a standard amount out of
Is
every
it like
pot.
basically every single pot? Really?
Yeah, they're going to take one pot that they never lose. They're basically being paid to arrange the game. So they can't lose.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to explain. No matter what the odds
I mean, they don't
are,
even play a hand, so obviously
Yeah.
they can't lose when they just take money from you after every pot.
And no matter what the odds are for any of these matches, they win.
And what we've learned is that's why you should always play blackjack.
Yeah. No, even that, they always win over an infinite number of
Over an
plays.
infinite, but if you're going for the best statistically chance for you to win, it's blackjack. Odds still in their favor, but only by like 1%.
If you want to be entertained for a while, play blackjack.
Okay. So back to the fights. Maybe we'll skip the first two because
But the important thing
got
is,
sidetracked.
because that's a smarter way
I get it now.
and a more interesting way of understanding the odds, I said I always want to see the implied probability and adjust from there my bets.
I actually understand what's going on now. That makes more sense now that you put it with the dollar amounts and percentages. So our first one is Ricardo Lamas and Jason Knight.
One other thing I want to mention that I forgot.
Dildos?
No, we dildoed. The other thing, the reason we have the same amount, $100 we're betting, is we can determine who the winner is objectively by who has the most dollars at the end. Given the Vegas betting odds.
Money will depend. The actual money we put on there will be different, but for
our virtual betting.
Yes, for our virtual betting, we need to have the same amount of money.
If the odds are, if like you get 2-1, you get twice what you bet, and you win all of them, and you get $200, and I lose all of them, and I have $0, you won. Or if I have $199 at the end and you have $200, you won. It's the dollar amount at the end that matters.
Yeah, it makes it really easy
because
to
when
understand.
he bets on somebody that's a long shot, he should get rewarded more for predicting the long shot. And he will get rewarded more because the payout's higher for the long shot.
Yeah, that makes sense. So really, if you wanted to be hardcore, you could just put like $100 on Cyborg and be like all the rest, or like $90 and then put $1.
So Cyborg is the one that's almost predicted.
But you won't win a lot of money.
Yeah, they're
off
predicted
of that.
almost certain to win. So if you put all your money on that, it's not a good prediction because everyone thinks that's going to happen anyways.
Yeah.
So you'll earn like $5.
Yeah.
See, that's why...
I don't even know if you earn $5 from it.
Exactly. See, that's why it checks your bet. Like, you can't just go, oh, I'll just bet all of it on a certain person.
Because you only get
It
$5.
won't matter because all I have to do is figure out one that's like...
You
just
get one
at the
decent bet.
50%, and I'll beat the shit out of them on my payout.
If you get all yours right.
No. Even if...
At least one other right.
If you bet $100 on the smart one, and I bet 50 on a close call and 50 on another close call, I'll probably win if one of my close call wins.
But that's why I said, as long as one of your close calls wins.
Yeah, if one of my close calls wins...
You win, but if I put it all on a sure bet and win, I could possibly win off of that just by you happening to lose. Bet. It's just not likely to happen.
Well, it's likely to happen. You win off a sure bet, but it's likely one of my two close calls will come out.
Yeah, that's why I meant
in my favor.
By that. All right, so Lamas and Knight.
All right, Lamas and Knight. Give me the American odds.
We have.
Give me Lamas first.
Lamas at a plus 110, so he's the underdog.
Okay, that's an implied probability of 47.6%.
Okay.
So this is a close match. They're all most are close.
And Knight is 140.
Games. No, one should be
minus 140.
Minus 140.
Yeah.
So he has a 58.3%. Again, does not add up to 100. That's why Vegas wins. So what was the second guy's name?
Knight.
Knight is more
Jason Knight
win.
and Ricardo Lamas.
Jason Knight. Zach, do you know anything about?
You know what's funny?
People?
I can see why Knight is the favorite when you look at the stats. Everything on his side is higher. He has a better record, 20-2. Lamas is 17-5. Knight has a 2-inch reach. He has more landed per minute, He has a better... Okay. Accuracy, Lamas actually beats him in. Punches absorbed, Knight has more. Defense, Knight has a 54.17. Average takedown, Knight is better. Takedown accuracy, Knight is better. Takedown defense, Knight is better. Submission average, Knight is better. So you can see where they got that.
Yeah.
So
again, you get to make the first call. Who are you
I
betting
feel
on?
like looking at the stats, and especially a 17-5 against a 20-2, I am going to go Knight. Out of my $100, I'm going to put a solid $6 on Knight.
$6 on Knight?
Yep.
All right. Now, I have very little
That's not
UFC
a
knowledge. So I'm just looking at their pictures.
I have no knowledge of these people either, so mine was
Okay.
almost a shot in the dark, basically, too.
What's their age? Can I see their age?
Ooh.
I think their age might make a
That's
difference.
actually
here.
a good...
It looks like Knight is younger. And Lamas, he has a more serious face in the picture we're looking at. I'm going to base my bet on that. I'm going to
Off
put...
serious face.
Yeah, he just looks like a fighter. Knight doesn't... It looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. Again, I have little to go on. I don't know UFC that well. I'm
surprised you're not going by numbers. That's obviously what Vegas went off of.
Yeah, they're going to base it on stats, so I'm just going to stereotype. And I'm going to go with Lamas. I'm going to throw 10 on him. I'm going to throw $10 on Lamas.
All right. We got our first bet in. All right. Now we're already at the main card.
I thought we were doing 3.
Nope.
non-main
I
cards.
did 1 because we talked for a long time about this.
Jesus Christ. All right.
So the main card. Jimmy Manuwa versus Vulcan Oezdemir.
I just want to say, just off the bat, not looking at stats, looking
I
at
know.
pictures, I want to bet against Oezdemir because it's too hard to pronounce his name. I don't want to bet on a guy whose name I can't pronounce.
That's an awful way to go because Joanna Jędrzejczyk has been champion in the women's division forever.
I know.
And you hear her name like 100 times.
I'm
and
just
you still
saying,
can't pronounce it.
If I'm cheering for somebody, I can't go. Hold on, give me a second. I want to cheer for the guy I can cheer for.
I'm sure he has a nickname. Maybe that's better. Easier.
Give me the odds. I wanted the implied probability.
Okay. So, Manuwa is the favorite with a minus 185.
185.
Oezdemir is
Okay.
underdog
Mm-hmm.
with a 150.
150. All right, that would imply. I accidentally put 1,540 or 15,040, and that implies a 0.7% probability. Let's get
0.7%.
So it was, what was the real thing?
150
150
for
Okay.
Oezdemir.
So this is an obvious spot where you can see Vegas makes money. The implied probability, if they paid off fairly, the first guy, whose name was
Manuwa.
Manuwa, would have a 64.9% probability if Vegas was being fair. And the guys whose name I can't pronounce would have a 40% probability if Vegas was paying fairly.
So since it's a close match,
That's 104.9%.
so it's obviously a close match. So they're trying to
close.
get
They're
bigger
mostly
payout.
closest matches because it usually isn't interesting for people when they put a 99.9% person against a 0.1% person.
True.
It's like, well, we know what's going to happen.
Except that's kind of like the Cyborg fight.
It's hard to get people to bet on.
All right. So let me look at this real quick. I'm looking at stats. Got Manuwa.
Do you know anything about these people?
No. I've heard these names at least. I can say that.
Okay.
14-1 is a pretty good record.
That is the guy's.
He only has a 1-inch reach
Oezdemir.
advantage. Oezdemir. He only has a 1-inch reach
Well, the
advantage.
other guy's 17-2. He's only lost
Yeah.
one more, but he's fought
But
more,
he's
so he had more
fought
chance to
more
lose.
fights, yeah.
I really want to see age.
Accuracy.
I think that matters, but they don't show age here.
Yeah, that is kind of weird that they don't show age. They show that in the...
Like in the actual fight.
Oezdemir has a 0% takedown accuracy. He does not take people down.
So he's definitely a striker.
But his defense is 100%? against strikes.
So he's never been. This is the one where you said he's never been taken down.
No,
buddy.
this is not. No.
Okay.
How do you have 100% defense against strikes?
That seems impossible.
Yeah.
Like that a strike is somebody punching you. That means
Against
he's never been punched.
Yeah, that means he's only been submitted. So his only loss is from submission, and he's never been punched. That makes no sense.
After 17 fights, that can't be right. You must
15.
be reading that wrong.
After 15. Defense. Significant strike. Defense. 100%.
So basically, he's been wrestling. In
Every
the UFC.
significant strike against him, he's blocked.
Well, what counts as a block in UFC? Does it just mean that your arm wasn't?
I mean, it didn't hit you, yeah.
But no. So if it partially hit your arm and it partially hit your skull,
That would be a block, yeah.
So
if
it
hit
partially
your arm,
hit your skull.
Yes.
Because I'm not a complete novice to UFC. I have watched about 4 videos that Zach has shown me to help me understand this. And now I actually think that's plausible because most of them are at...
They're blocking a lot of
I would say
shots.
partial blocks.
Yes.
As in some of them get through somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of it's like 80% arm, 20% skull.
Yeah.
And that would count as a hit. But that's saying... So if that 80% arm, 20% skull is a block,
Mm-hmm.
then that means no one's gotten a full-on punch. Never blocked. Which it seems hard, but it's not implausible. Because most of them are blocked. Like 90% of strikes are blocked.
So this time I'm going underdog. I'm going Oezdemir just because of that 100% defense. That seems retarded. And he has 100% takedown defense as well.
How could he have 100% on both and still have a loss? He lost somehow.
That's a very good point. How did he lose? Unless it was a John Jones loss.
Oh, points.
Look him up.
He lost on points?
Yeah, he could have lost just
He
points.
had to lose on points.
He could have lost on points or God, what was it with?
Like a
He
disqualified?
did it, yeah, disqualification basically, or no contest.
But he's not the favorite? Even though he's
not the favorite. He's only lost by points.
Alright, let me see.
Just Wikipedia his name.
The last guy I had didn't have the reach advantage. So this guy,
I haven't put my money amount though. I want to.
Oh yeah, go
I want to see why he lost first before I put money on Oezdemir. I want to see what happened. How the hell does he not the first name? How is there multiple Oezdemirs? Volkan.
Maybe it's like Smith in Russian.
Well, this isn't the right guy.
The first guy that came up is like a business guy in a tie and suit and shit. Like that ain't him.
Yeah.
An old white guy. He's not fighting in the UFC. Although I would pay to see that match.
That would be interesting.
Just some old CEOs. They should have UFC CEOs.
Like amateur, like
just
all amateur
old,
stuff.
Really old guys. Like the CEO of...
Okay, so he
GE.
lost due to submission, so it was a neck crank.
So how's he...
So but that doesn't mean he was taken
That's
down.
not a takedown.
Yeah, they just went to the ground. It doesn't mean he was taken down.
Because
he could have taken the guy down.
Takedown means your back is on the mat?
It just means somebody took you from standing up to being on the ground.
Okay. So he could have taken
He could have taken somebody else down, and that person neck cranked
on the bottom put him in the neck. Okay, gotcha.
Correct. So I'm putting. Oof. I'm gonna put $10 on Oezdemir.
$10 on Oezdemir. So previously, I was always telling Zach I think reach and height is a big thing, and Oezdemir has another inch.
It's only 1 inch though. Like 1 inch is good, but it's not like
Let me see their pictures. You know what pictures? I'm going the other guy, Manuwa, but
those numbers though, man.
Yeah, how is Oezdemir not the favorite?
Because he hasn't taken anybody down, maybe.
Yeah, he has 0 takedowns.
He does not submit people.
They make these matches interesting.
Yeah. He's straight up striker.
Like, they put together people where, like, obviously, if he loses, his 100% is not going to be 100% anymore, you know? I'm going to go with Manuwa.
But how much?
Oh, man, that's a tough call. I'm going to put 15 on Manuwa. I believe in Manuwa. I think his accuracy for strikes, that's a pretty good indicator. He barely absorbs any blows, so he must prevent people from hitting him by just, like, backing up. I don't know. And he looks like the better fighter just from pictures. I don't know.
That's racist. All right. Now we're getting to the interesting ones. The main card. Cerrone versus Lawler. I'm so curious because before I click the stats, I already know my bet Cerrone because he's my favorite fighter. So I'm biased. I have this problem with this fight. Since he's my favorite fighter, I'm obviously going to have to bet him. And I like his stats. Oh, let's see, who... Oh, Cerrone's the underdog.
Cerrone... Oh, yeah, let's see the implied probabilities.
130 on Cerrone.
130?
Plus 130. And then...
that's the underdog, okay.
Minus 160 on Lawler.
Okay, that implies Cerrone has a 43.5% chance to win. And
61 something.
Yeah, Lawler has a 61.5% chance to win.
I like that he's the underdog because I'm going to bet on him. Man, look at their fight count though. They both have a shit ton of fights.
They're both very experienced. So
he has a 2-inch reach.
I think you explained to me. Donald Cerrone basically takes any fight with little time ahead. Like he's like Nicolas Cage but for UFC. Like Nicolas Cage, any movie script you throw to him, he's like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, why not?
Cerrone's like, yeah, I'll fight that guy. So
let's do it, man.
Lawler is definitely older, right? He's accumulated that fight number through experience.
Sure.
Cerrone,
they're both pretty old,
being crazy and just being like, yeah, I'll do that.
I wouldn't know who's actually older, but they're both pretty old fighters. See this. They're both old fighters.
So
here, you look up Lawler, I'll look up Cerrone.
Okay.
Cerrone, 83. Jesus, he's only 4 years older than me. He's 34.
Doesn't that make you feel unaccomplished?
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. You gotta look it up because my internet 34. Is terrible.
34. That's crazy.
The Wi-Fi in this hotel is awful.
I would have obviously guessed he was much older than that.
Who was 34? Robbie Lawler?
No, Cerrone.
Cerrone is 34.
Lawler's only 1 year older? Yeah, 1 year older. So they're pretty close in age.
Maybe Lawler started
so a 34 and a 35-year-old.
That's close. Okay. So how much are you putting on Cerrone?
The problem is I'm biased, so I don't want to put too much on him because I want him to win. I want him to win. So when you're
you're biased.
Yeah. So when you
you're
you
not
want
gonna
something,
bet much, but you can't not bet against.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Although looking at his stats though, it's kind of weird that he's the underdog. He has the reach advantage. He has more landed per minute. He has a higher accuracy. He has better defense. He has a better takedown average. The only thing he loses on is takedown accuracy.
Maybe he's had easier fights.
And he's takedown defended. But I don't...
Whoa. Lawler. Okay. I have seen 2 of the 4 fights Zach showed
Lawler
me.
has 0 submissions.
Wait.
1.64.
2 of the 4 fights Zach showed me. One was from Lawler, one was Cerrone.
Yeah, but...
All I'm saying is I've learned that Lawler
for people that are listening, I showed him Cerrone versus Nate Diaz. So the loss he had, one of the bad losses, and I showed Lawler versus Rory McDonald, one of the good wins Lawler had.
Okay, so that might bias me towards Lawler because I'm thinking Lawler right now.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, I thought Lawler was a champion, right?
Yes.
Was Cerrone ever a title?
Cerrone's never been a champion.
So that's why I think the reason Cerrone's stats are better is because he didn't have a title and he wasn't challenged as much by people that
sometimes title
fight
holders take easier fights though, so because they don't want to lose their title.
I feel like people would if they were obviously denying.
But I already told you, Cerrone just takes any fight.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter.
So he probably takes even really shitty ones. Where
He's like, you probably should take this running. Nah, man, I got this.
No, but he also probably takes like, here's the midget we found. Will you fight him, Cerrone? Fuck yeah.
How much is in it for me?
This guy's been training for 10 days. I'll beat the shit out of him for you. I think he hasn't had as hard of matches as Lawler defending his title.
To be fair, they've both been in the UFC for so long and have almost 40 fights each. I'm pretty sure they've both had their tough fights and their easy fights.
All right, what are you putting on Cerrone?
Man, I want to put a lot of money on him, but like I said, I know I'm biased.
Go with your bias.
I'm going with the reach and with these stats. If it wasn't for the stats, I would have bet low, but my stats are actually helping me want to bid more for him. So I'm going. Let's see, I already have 16 in. I'm going $13, Cerrone.
$13.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to make it 14 so I can math the rest of this easy.
I feel like we should do adjustments at the end because if we get to the last guy, like it's how much.
No, that's fair.
It's like how much money we have left, and then that's what
we can do adjustments at the end. But I'm doing $14, Cerrone.
All right. What is?
Come on, cowboy.
I still think Lawler.
Go Lawler. It's not like he's a bad fighter. It's just Cerrone's my favorite. You can't bet. Are you gonna bet just the opposites of me every fight?
Almost.
That won't actually work.
It'll work because we have different numbers.
We'll always
have different dollar
numbers
amounts.
no matter what. Yeah.
I actually wouldn't.
But you could bet if you do think Cerrone's gonna win. You could bet more or less.
170. They're both USA. I'm trying to figure out.
But Donald Cowboy Cerrone is way more USA.
Is he? No,
his name's Cowboy Cerrone.
Here's what I think. I think Cerrone is like that wild card where it's high risk, high reward. And I don't think that usually pays off. In the long run, that doesn't pay off. I'm going Lawler, and I'm going to put 20 on Lawler.
20 on Lawler?
I think he's going to win it.
Holy shit. All right, so next we got the ridiculous, obvious who's probably going to win. Cyborg versus Tanya Evinger.
Your bet, Zach.
Okay, so we have a minus 1,100.
Minus 1,000.
So obviously favorite.
Minus 1,000 is
a Cyborg.
Cyborg is a minus
1,100. 1,100.
1,100. Jesus. All right. So that implies a 91.7% chance of winning. That's still 10%. To give you context, though, I follow betting odds on politics. Donald Trump had a 20% odd of winning on the betting markets. 20%.
Even before it looked like he was...
Yeah, night before the election, he had 20%.
Well, the night before the election, I would have said he had more than that.
I thought so too. I almost took a bet on him, thinking that he would win. He had a good chance.
Yeah.
But I think we're biased because we're from Ohio,
and we kind of saw.
We saw that he's gonna win Ohio, but all the polls are saying he's not winning Ohio, and I think.
And that's when we realized.
I think my coworkers in California thought I was like crazy that night. I told them, I don't know, guys. I think Donald Trump might win.
Yeah.
I think he'll win Ohio, and they thought I was nuts.
Yeah, I don't.
But the point is, across all of betting people that bet on these things, they thought 20% Donald Trump to win, and he won.
Yep.
Or another context is if you roll a 1 die 5, they don't exist, but that's rolling a 1 or a 5 out of 1 die 5. Rolling 1 on a 1 die 6 is like 18, 17%? I'm saying these things happen. Things that have 20% chance happen.
They happen often.
Things that have 10% chance happen. On a 1 die 10, that's rolling a 10. Yeah. Have you rolled a 1 die 10 and gotten a 10?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It happens.
I get what you're saying.
They do happen.
That's why I'm putting a solid $2 on Evinger. Because the odds are so ridiculous. If she wins, the payout is worth it. Actually, I'll put $3. That way it would make up for any bet I might lose.
$3. If she wins, it'll
make up for any bet I lose beforehand.
So what's my strategy? Here's what I'm going to do.
We didn't go through the stats, but let's just say... Let me look at them real quick.
Cyborg beats the shit out of everyone.
Actually, her takedown accuracy is not as good.
Okay, but everything else is better.
And her submission average is lower, but that's probably just because she knocks everyone out.
Well, okay, so we were looking at fights of the people that we were going to see. So I did see I saw a Cyborg fight, and she beat the fuck out of that other girl. And
landed per minute 8.24. Holy shit!
And that's ridiculous. And what I said about that girl, Cyborg, is it looks like she belongs in prison. She is tatted to the bone, like just tats, and she just looks mean as fuck.
Yeah,
she didn't have I couldn't picture that woman smiling in her life.
Another 100% defense.
Yeah,
you know why? Because she just knocks people out before they hit her.
I think Cyborg's gonna win, but the payout is so little. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I'm gonna put 50 cents on Cyborg, because it's not worth wasting my money on a sure thing.
Yeah, I get it. I agree that she's gonna win. I just, in the off chance, the ridiculous off chance, I want that payout.
Like, I could have been right about every other fight, and if Zach gets that, maybe he wins.
Yeah, what is that? Times 3 by 650. That's gonna give me like $20 off of that one fight.
Yeah.
By only betting 3, I get rid of $3 and get 20 profit off of it. All right, Woodley versus Demian Maia. This is another biased fight for me because Demian Maia is jiu-jitsu master.
All right, what's the Woodley prob? Or
the
American odd.
The bet?
Yeah.
All right, we got Woodley as the underdog. Oh, I didn't know this.
What's his?
Minus 205.
205?
Oh, no, wait, that means he's the favorite. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what always confuses me. Negative means favorite. And Maia as underdog with 165.
So that means Woodley has a 67.2% probability to win. And Mala?
Demian Maia.
Maia. That's a Y? Oh,
it's
that's
an
an
I.
I. Never mind. Has a 37.7%.
Ooh, look at that reach he has on him. He has a 4-inch reach. But he does jiu-jitsu, basically. That's it. He's basically jiu-jitsu.
So, okay. Here's the weird thing. Zach, the night before, I was saying reach has gives you a huge advantage.
Yeah.
I think that gives you an enormous advantage. But so far, you've always chosen the guy with a more advantage, and I've chosen the guy with a less advantage.
Uh-huh.
But this time I know, since you're biased towards Woodley, you're betting on Woodley.
No, I'm biased towards Maia.
Oh, I thought... Oh, shit.
Maia's the jiu-jitsu guy.
We are agreeing, because with a 4-inch advantage, I think Maia is going to win.
But you're not listening. Maia is known for takedowns in jiu-jitsu and bad striking. Okay, we got cut out there. Nick's laptop died, but fortunately, Audacity auto-saved. So as I was saying, he didn't seem to understand that. Just because Maia has a 4-inch reach doesn't mean he has any advantage, because he really isn't a striker. But Nick has decided. What was your decision? I went $12 Maia, because I'm biased towards Maia and I wanted that little margin.
And I believed more in Maia than the guy that's biased towards him. I felt like he should get $20. I put $20 down.
But
on
because why? Because his reach.
I think 4 inches is a lot.
That's what she said?
Yeah, that's what she said. Oh, and here's what I said was, ladies, come on. A 4-inch difference. You're going to really feel that 4 inches, aren't you, ladies?
All right. So now the event everyone actually cares about. Actually, Maia, Cyborg, Lawler. Those are all pretty awesome fucking fights. By the way, thank you for the tickets, because this is fucking amazing UFC card.
Thank you for watching my house, because that's why I bought you a ticket.
That was, I don't know if that was equal, but okay. You're welcome. All right, so Daniel Cormier versus John Jones.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a tough fight.
What's the percentage? What's their betting?
Okay, so DC is underdog at 210.
I thought DC was the... Okay.
No, underdog.
So DC, Daniel Cormier, is underdog at 32%.
Did you just turn like New York? Underdog.
Underdog.
Get to the car.
All right, and then...
Jones is 270 minus.
Negative 270. That's really tough for me.
75?
73% chance of winning. Oh, man. Yeah, okay, this is where... So we were saying they don't add up to 100, all right? So it's like the bigger the difference between adding up to 100, the more variance and the more money Vegas is making. But the more people bet on it, the more it's going to converge to 100.
Uh-huh. So this is getting closer to 100.
Yeah, 73% plus
it's like 105.
100.3. No, that's not 105. That's 100.3.
What? Wait. Am I doing the math wrong?
73.
That's 105.
Yeah, maybe that is. I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's 105. But still, it's getting close to 100. It's getting close to 100.
The point is...
Okay, so... John Jones, that reach is outrageous.
Yeah,
but
the reach, so height is 76 for John
He
Jones.
has a 5-inch difference.
And 71 for Cormier. But John Jones has a freakishly long arm.
His reach advantage, because we watched this fight, you saw their first fight. His reach advantage was 12 inches. A fucking foot.
Yeah, he's a freak. He's like a freak of nature that has awkwardly long arms.
Yes.
Which gives him, even though he's only 5 inches tall, not only is still a pretty good height advantage, but his arms are weird.
It's so crazy.
He has an even bigger reach, which is why he has the 73% probability.
And most of his numbers are better.
But Zach, tell us about ring rust. Tell us.
Yes.
Tell us the backstory.
2 years off.
Why?
For one, getting in a car wreck.
Why would they suspend him from a car wreck?
Well, no, he obviously went to jail and had issues because
Why
of
did
this.
he go to jail? What you don't get to go to jail just for a car wreck.
Was it a DUI? I don't even remember.
So there's something he's fucked up and he shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been driving. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
And then he also tested positive for some kind of steroid or PED or whatever it was.
Ooh, that biases me towards him because he's at least cheating. I tend to think the guys that are cheating win.
John Jones is known for being like a cheater with his eye pokes and all that stuff. But with new rules in place, there's less likely to be eye pokes because he's going to get points taken away. He's going to get one warning and then points taken away. And last fight, what did he do? He eye poked him. And I'm just going with DC because I don't know. I don't like the bad guy vibe of John Jones. I don't like the redemption story. I like the DC, like, I've been training hard. I've been doing everything right this whole time. I'm going to win it. And because the last fight wasn't like John Jones destroyed him. Mm-hmm. He did win. When you watch it, I would agree with the judges.
I saw.
Yeah. I would agree with the judges. He obviously won, but it wasn't like I dominated.
It wasn't like a total beatdown or something.
And I think Daniel Cormier has the confidence, now that he's been champion for so long, to win it. So all the rest of my money is going on him. Which is $55.
$55.
Well, obviously I have to big bet at the end. So you only have left 55, 65. So you only have 35, 50 left. So you're putting 35, 50 on somebody.
I'm going Cormier, or not Cormier. I'm going John Jones on this.
35, 50?
It's hard to tell, but that reach is just insane.
It really is.
He can just, like, he gets even close and he just he like kicks him away and he can't get in there.
So another thing people say about Cormier, though, is he started doing commentary and they're thinking that's going to distract him from training. But in my opinion, it's like, when you're Olympian, that's just another thing you do. Like, okay, I'm also going to do commentating. Like, I don't think you're going to get distracted. You're going to do the same amount of workouts.
Here's my prediction. All right. If it goes to a decision, I think Cormier's going to win. How often does it go to decision?
Well, went to decision last time they fought.
Yeah, but how often in UFC?
So,
How often
I
is
don't
it a
know.
knockout? Like
I don't know that percent chance.
I know,
like,
but in the fights that you've seen, how often do you feel like it's gone to decision?
in the fights that I've seen, I feel like it's a pretty even spread.
Pretty even?
Yeah. That's just judging by it, since it's so hard for me to come up with a number. I feel like that means it's probably even spread.
Because I think John Jones, if he gets in the right way, he can knock Cormier down and just beat his ass. But John Jones could win on points by just landing more blows.
I think
Cormier
if
could win.
Jones wins, it's because Cormier never gets taken down, or Cormier never takes John down.
Yeah,
it's because John
no.
keeps standing up and using his reach as an advantage.
Yeah, I think it's the opposite. I think Cormier wins on points. Jones wins on an actual knockout.
Yeah, that's why I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, okay. Then we're agreeing.
You said it backwards with names or something, or we're drunk.
I think
I didn't
Jones
understand.
is winning on a knockout.
If Jones wins, that's how it's going to win. Cormier is going to win by points. I agree, and I think that's how he's going to win is by points.
So I'm going Jones. I don't want to bet as much as I bet, though. That's why I want to readjust.
Okay.
Because I don't want it to be whatever was left over.
Yeah, 55 is a lot for one fight. So let's adjust. So we got the first fight 6-10. That's one of the ones I wanted to bump up anyways. So my underdog I'm gonna change to $12. So $12 a night. Are you changing on your Lamas? You have $10.
The problem is I don't remember who the fuck this guy is.
There's the odds.
Let's go back to the pictures and the...
What really counts.
Yeah. I'm gonna up Lamas. So you bet on Knight?
Yeah, I doubled my bet.
What was Lamas? $10?
I went 12 and you went 10.
I'm pretty confident. I'm gonna go to 20.
Ooh, okay.
I think he's gonna win it.
All right, Oezdemir versus Manuwa. I honestly like what I have on there.
No, I thought the next one was... Oh, yeah. You're right.
I don't actually want to adjust that one.
Who was I on?
I have $10 Oezdemir. You have $15 Manuwa. I'm fine with my bet on that one.
I'm gonna take Manuwa down $3.
$12. Why?
Looking at his picture again, he doesn't look that mean. I don't know.
Because he's black. That's fucked up, man.
Well, I bet on mostly black guys. You can't say I'm taking him down now because he's black.
What do you mean you bet mostly on black guys?
Did I? Because I bet on...
You bet on Woodley and John Jones, but John Jones versus Cormier is
Yeah,
no matter what.
I know. I'm just saying, Woodley's the one black guy, and Manuwa's the one black guy against a white guy.
Yeah.
So you can't say I'm taking him down because he's black. I bet mostly on black guys over white guys.
It's funny when I call you racist. All right, so $12 Manuwa.
Okay, maybe it's because whatever his name is, has the 1 inch reach advantage.
That's it? You're going by the 1 inch?
I honestly just think his portrait just looks like he's going, maybe I'll win.
All right, so Lawler and Cerrone. I have 14, you have 20. For Lawler, I have 14.
I think
Cerrone? I need to up my... Well, I got to go first. I'm upping my Cerrone for my pure bias to $20.
I was going to up Lawler.
Well, I'm matching your Lawler, so...
All right.
What are you doing with Lawler? This is going to be a great fight.
I'm taking him to 30. I really think Lawler's going to win it.
All right. Evinger Cyborg.
What am I going to do with 50 cents?
I'm doing $5, Evinger. Just so I have even more money.
That's just crazy.
If she randomly trips and Evinger can take advantage.
I'm going to keep 50
The
cents.
ref accidentally knocks Cyborg out.
I'm keeping my 50 cents.
Why don't you make it at least $1? At least make it a little interesting.
All right.
Double your bet.
$1. That's not going to double my bet. That'll
Yeah,
give
it
me
is.
like
50 cents to $1.
Oh, that's doubling my bet. That's not doubling my profits.
No,
That's
it's
how
not
the bet
doubling your
works.
profits. It's
That
doubling your
means I'll
bet.
get another quarter if she wins. All right?
I think quarter is actually more than what you will get.
That's the point. I'm wasting $1
All right.
on this bitch.
This is kind of interesting because we both have Maia winning.
Let me look at the pictures again.
They both look straight gangster.
Oh, here's one where we both favor the white guy over the black guy.
Yeah, it's true. 42, 47.
And it was because of his reach is 4 inches more.
Yeah, and I just did it because he's a jiu-jitsu master.
I don't remember why I did it anymore.
You know what? I'm just going to up him to 15 just because I like even numbers.
What was I on?
20. Maya.
I don't remember why I favored him so much more.
Because 4 inches.
4 inches, that's it?
That's the only reason.
I think he just looks more like a fighter. Just looking at his face. He looks like if I punched him, he wouldn't feel it. But if I punched Maya, he would feel it. Like
You mean Woodley? So your bet is for Maya.
No. Yeah, I'm saying Maya would feel my own punch. Like, if you look at the bone structure of a guy's face, right?
Uh-huh. I don't get your meaning. Why, if Maya would feel it, wouldn't you bet against him?
Yeah, I am. Am I not?
No, you bet Maya.
Oh, shit. Yeah,
Because of the
Woodley.
Because of the 4-inch reach.
You know what? I'm going to lower my bet on Maya now.
Are you going to lower the bet and go Woodley, or just lower your bet on Maya?
I'm going to lower my bet on Maya.
How much?
Because it does look like if I punch Maya, he just doesn't have the facial bone structure to absorb a punch. Wait, are they strikers? Do you know?
I just told you. Maya is like basically jiu-jitsu and that's it. That's what he does.
What about
He's
Woodley?
the one on The Fighter and the Kid we're talking about. We know exactly what he's going to do, and you can't stop it. He's going to take you down, and he's going to choke you out.
What about Woodley? Do you know shit about Woodley?
I don't know Woodley too well.
I want to take down Maya either way after having a second look. I want to take him down to 12.
We had 20.
I want to go 12.
Okay. All right. So after our changes, that automatically kind of puts our bets in place, right?
Let's go with it.
For the next ones. So I have 12 Knight, 10, 22, 42, 47. 47 plus 15, so 50, 62. So I'd have 38 left. 38 on DC. I'm okay with that. 20, 32, 62, 63, 60, 75. You have 25 Jones.
I like that outcome.
That's good. That's pretty good. I'm cool with that.
It's interesting just going through and trying to figure out just like I don't know much about their fighting.
You're right. Looking at the stats though, it's kind of interesting that they do kind of pick the fights according to stats.
Very close.
Looking at
that. Well, it wouldn't be interesting. Like Cyborg, she's gonna win. Why do you even need to watch?
Yeah, that's the only one we're like, we kind of know what's happening here.
It's like a fight between the Mountain and Tyrion Lannister. All right, you don't need to guess.
Yeah, it's like something crazy has to happen for Tyrion to win. So a review: I have $12 on Knight. You have 20 on Lamas. I have $10 Oezdemir. You have $12 Manuwa. I have $20 Cerrone. You have $30 Lawler. I'm really pumped for that fight because you have such a different view of the fighters.
Well, you're biased. I'm not biased
and
at
I know
all.
I'm biased though. That's the problem. This is a Cyborg fight. This is so retarded. I have $5 Evinger just because it would be a big payout if I win it, and you have $1 Cyborg because you're just going with the winner.
He has a $5 because he's a gambler.
Yeah. Woodley versus Maya. We both think Maya's going to win. I just have $3 more.
After looking
15
at it
and
again,
12.
I thought looking at the face, it just looks like a punchable face.
DC Jones, the big fight. You have $38 DC. I have $25 Jones. And tomorrow, we shall find out.
And we will append this podcast with the winner. Is it the guy that actually has done jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai and watches UFC a lot, or the guy that is basically looking at pictures and just stereotyping the
shooting
shit
at
out
the
of
hip?
them? So this is, does stereotyping win, or does actually having knowledge about the sport at hand win?
I'd say
The decision will be made here, folks. The decision will
it's
be
very
decided.
kind to say I have knowledge about the sport.
More than me. I've seen a whopping 4 fights tonight.
Compared to you, I have tons of knowledge. Yes, I will say that. Compared to other people, not so much.
Lock in your bets now, people, on who will win between the two of us.
All right. Peace.